Slate it.
Marker.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We're gonna have fun this week. We're talking about what to look for in a kid's horse. What makes a kid's horse? So what I've done is I've got 6 different young people that I know pretty well that I really enjoy riding with and their horses, and we're gonna interview them and ask them what's important, and I'm gonna add a few pieces in. We're gonna talk back and forth as they ride and kind of see what they think makes a kid's horse from their perspective with a few safety tips from my own. That's coming up on Discovering the Horseman Within.
Now the sun is rising slowly on the mountain you must climb, and the trail that takes you closer to the source. And you dream about the moment when you leave it all behind and climb up on that one true horse. That one true horse, the perfect partner built to ride. One true horse, a bond that cannot be denied. You would search forever just to have the chance to take a ride on one true horse. I'm gonna take a ride on one true horse.
One of the greatest determining factors in my life, short of what I feel is God's calling me to this business, was that my dad never allowed me to be on the wrong horse. He always had me on the right horse for where I was as a rider. And I think as parents, that's really important. That horse doesn't always have to be gorgeous. He doesn't have to have world titles. What he's got to be is suited to the young rider at their age. So our youngest rider tonight is 6 years old, and we're going to start with him. And our oldest rider this evening is 16, and we're going to end with her. And we're going to interview them and talk about that. Trent, I'd like you to ride on over here. As Trenton rides on over here, this is my youngest son. He's 6 years old, and he's riding Silver. We've had Silver for probably 5 or 6 years. He's a 12-year-old horse, and he's fantastic for Trent in what he needs him to be. So Trent, I'd like you to tell me, what's the most important thing for you in choosing a horse for you?
Probably, I really don't know.
All right, he really doesn't know, and that's a great answer. They weren't coached for this at all. Stay right here, buddy. I really don't know, all right? So now let's take another approach. What do you really like in a horse? What's something you really like? What'd be your favorite thing in a horse? Color, size, speed?
Probably a cutting horse.
Probably a cutting horse. All right, so his favorite thing in the world would be to go ride a cutting horse. But at his age and where he's at, is that what is most suited for him? So what we did is we went and found a horse that no matter what Trent does, he can't get in trouble. Silver is fantastic. Has Silver ever done anything wrong to you?
No.
Is Silver the fastest horse in the world?
No.
No, he's not. Does he buck really hard?
No.
No. Those are all things that make him a really good horse. The fact that he's safe, the fact that Trent can ride him anywhere he wants to go, do anything he wants to do on him. Is he a pretty good cow horse?
Yes, he is.
How about a trail horse?
Yes.
Do you lead pack horses with him ever?
No.
Could you?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you could. You can do anything you want, huh? And do you trust Silver?
Mm-hmm.
With 100% of your heart?
Probably.
Probably. All right, thank you. You can go right over there. All right. He trusts him with 100% of his heart. That's what I'm looking for in a beginning horse for my kid. When I start looking for a horse that I know is going to make my son a horse or your son a horse, I want to know that this horse is going to be safe. I don't care how pretty he is. When we bought Silver, there was another horse there that was fantastic, probably would have worked just as well, maybe every bit as good. He wouldn't have been any better, but he was exactly 20 times the price of Silver. There's a point where you have to say, all right, my kid is worth anything, but what can I really afford? So is Silver gorgeous? Nope, the other horse was a lot prettier. Does he do the job? Absolutely, and those are things that I think are really important. All right, Hayden, come on over here. Can you side pass over here just a little bit? Hayden, how old are you?
I'm 12.
12 years old. How long have you been riding?
Pretty much as long as I can remember.
As long as you can remember. You're a pretty gifted rider, aren't you? Yes,
Whatever
you are.
you say.
Yes, you are. I'm going to tell you, Hayden's a pretty gifted rider. Hayden, what is really important to you when you think about a horse? What's the most important thing you want in a horse you're going to ride?
Probably softness. I really like to expect that out of horses.
Okay.
And I really appreciate it when they finally
Give that to you. All right, so here you have somebody with a whole different set of priorities in their horse. What's Trent want? He wants to have fun. Hayden says, actually, softness. Where do you rate speed on the level of importance?
I guess just whenever you want to tell a horse to go, he should be able to go. But I don't know. Could you rephrase that?
Is it important to you that your horse is just lightning bolt fast?
Not unless I'm chasing ornery cows, no.
Not unless you're chasing ornery cows. All right, so when you think about what your favorite horse in the world would be as far as personality and training, what would you think of?
Well, I really enjoy riding arena horses, so ones that can do spins and rollbacks.
Okay.
Ranch work's fun, but I really like doing.
You really like a
arena
little
work.
finishing handle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty neat. All right, so what have we got Hayden on tonight? Hayden's on a 14-year-old horse that's got a lot of handle to him, a lot of softness. This is a really trustworthy and dependable horse. Hayden, when was the last time this horse bucked with you?
I can't ever remember him bucking.
No, that's not part of him, is it?
No.
How about when was the last time he ran away with somebody?
Before Hannah had him, probably.
Long time ago.
Yeah, several
All
years
right.
at most.
So we've got a 12-year-old rider on a 14-year-old horse that is a really good horse. They can take him out and rope on him. They can take him out and work cattle on him. He's got lots and lots of handle. Could Trent ride this horse? Well, this particular horse would probably be safe for Trent, but would he be suited to Trent? No, not really. His personality is going to be such that he's going to tell Trent, you know, why don't we go over here and I'll take you for a ride. Instead, where Hayden is enough more of a rider that you can take this horse for a ride any place you want to go, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is there any place you'd like to go you couldn't take him?
Not that I can think of.
All right, thank you. Now, if you'd ride over there and send Kurt back over here.
I'd love to.
So what I'm really wanting to get at is that there's a lot of different horses in the world, and how do you find the one that works best for your child or your young rider or your inexperienced and beginner rider where they're at? So as we bring Kurt in, Kurt is about the same age. He's a little younger than Hayden. He's at a little different stage in what he likes to do than Hayden. And so we're going to talk to him. He's got a little different project. This year, he's got a young started pony that he's riding to take through to our sale next June. So we're going to talk to him a little bit about that. Come on up here, Kurt. Let's ride him right around here. This pony is 6 years old. He was started and very gentle when we got him. And so I'm going to ask Kurt, tell me a little bit about Flint. What do you like about Flint?
Well, I guess he is just a little easier to get on than other horses.
That's kind of a handy thing. Is he pretty gentle?
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of fun training on him?
Yeah.
What gives you the confidence to take a young horse like this and train? What do you think? Why do you think you can do this?
I don't really know.
Do you think you're going to get hurt on this pony?
No.
No. So would you say overall you feel pretty safe on him? You kind of feel like you get along with him anywhere you want to go? All right, are you hearing the reoccurring theme? We're talking about staying safe. We're talking about being comfortable. Now, this is, go ahead and bring him back up here, bud. This is a 6-year-old pony that was pretty nice to be around, but doesn't know a whole lot, was real sullen, and Kurt's kind of doing all kinds of things with him. So let me ask you this, Kurt. Have you ridden him just in the arena?
No, I've ridden him outside.
Where all have you taken him?
Oh, just about anywhere.
Just about anywhere. And how about, you crossed any water with him, or?
Yeah.
And did he know any of that when you first got him?
Yeah.
Did he? What was he real good at crossing water and that kind of stuff?
The first time, not really.
Not really.
No.
So was he just really good at leaving the barn and just loping off? He was really good at that kind of stuff, but he didn't really want to cross obstacles all that much.
Nope.
So what we did is we said, all right, we have a young person who really wants to train. They really want to enjoy teaching a horse something new. You can go play, bud. Thank you. We have somebody who wants to train, they want to enjoy teaching a horse something, but do you just go get them an unbroke horse? It's their first project. Of course not. What we did with Kurt was we said, let's find something that's going to be really nice, something that's going to be really gentle, that's going to make a really nice end project and a safe project the entire time. You know, I can't stress enough that the really important thing about the horse in your young rider's life is that they fit them where they are and that they're capable of taking them forward. Holly, how long have you had this horse?
3 years.
3 years, and how old is he?
He's 9.
And how old are you?
I'm 13.
So you've had this horse since you were 10 and he was 6, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's not a typical matchup. Lots of times we'd say, boy, I want a little older horse for my young person. Was this horse pretty gentle when you got him?
Yes, sir. Very gentle.
But is he a lot better trained horse today than he was when you got him?
Yes.
Holly is not your average 13-year-old, although there's lots of young 13-year-old girls like her who really want to teach their horse something. And I've watched Holly ride this horse, and she's ridden him in shank bits. What all kinds of equipment have you ridden him in?
I've ridden him in a halter, a shank bit, a snaffle, and now the bozell.
And then, did I hear that at sometimes you're actually kind of working on taking things off?
Yep, I've worked a little bit on bridleless, just in the round pen.
I thought I heard that a few minutes ago, just in the round pen.
Yes, sir.
Where you're completely safe
Yes, sir.
on a horse that you have a long history with and that you know quite a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a lot better trained horse than he was when you got him,
Yes.
because of the time and effort you've put into him. Was he in any way dangerous when you got him?
No.
No. Okay, so again, what do we have? We have the right project to go forward with. We have a 10-year-old girl that needs a safe horse that's going to help her learn a little bit, something that's going to teach her as she teaches it. Now, do not mistake me for saying, oh, you should get your young person a green horse and they can both learn together. That isn't at all what I said. Because what Holly's dad did was he found a really nice, broke, good dispositioned younger horse. And then he gave it to a very energetic, goal-oriented, driven young lady who wanted to take that horse forward. It wasn't green on green, was it? What's the saying?
Green on green makes black and blue.
Exactly. When you're looking for a horse for your young person, green on green makes black and blue, and you never want to forget that. Holly, when you look for a horse, what are you looking for in a horse?
I like one that's got good gaits, real good handle, preferred the neck rein. Just really gentle disposition, laid back, low head set.
Have you ever had to ride a bad horse?
No, sir.
That's a neat thing to be able to say, no, sir, I've never had to ride a bad horse. So that gives you an idea of what a good one should be like, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Every horse that you've ridden, have they all been just stunningly beautiful?
No. No.
Some of them probably haven't been all that pretty at all, have they?
No, sir.
But they've been good horses.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Holly. If you'd go over there and send Kennedy back. When I put this together and we started talking about this idea, I thought, what can I do, that is actually from their perspective? And as we move through this, you see these young people aren't just developing skills with horses. They're actually developing skills in life. They're learning dedication. Holly's had some rough times, and that's the one question I didn't ask her. Has it all been easy? Of course not. Holly's ridden with me every year for the last 3 years, since she got that horse and actually a little before. And it hasn't all been easy. Has he ever been dangerous? No, never. But has it been easy? No, not at all. But she spent a lot of time learning. There's lots of things in life that aren't easy. If you want something good, you've got to put time and effort in. All right. So I've got Kennedy with me. Kennedy, how old is your horse?
13.
13 years old. Kennedy, how old are you?
13.
13 years old. How long have you had this horse?
For about 3 years.
About 3 years. So you were 10 and 10 when you got him.
Mm-hmm.
Was this horse real bronky and a runaway and just terrible when you got him?
No.
What was he?
He was kind of stubborn, and he wasn't a runaway, but he would go where he wanted. He was pretty good, but
the occasional stubborn moment.
yeah.
And he ran into a stubborn wall when he got you, didn't he?
Yeah, kind of. Not really.
All right. Has he got away with everything?
At times.
He has. So you've had to change some of how you're riding. And you've had to learn a little bit about how to move him forward and progress him. So has that been an educational experience for you?
Yes, very much.
Has it just been simple?
No, not at all.
You've worked pretty hard.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he's a pretty good horse today?
Yeah.
You know, in a clinic you were in with me just the other day, I heard you comment that this horse's spins were really getting cool.
At certain times,
At
yes.
certain times, there's just flickers and moments of just brilliance where you really feel the time and effort you've put in paying off, don't you?
Yeah.
And is that something you enjoy?
Yeah. I think it's really neat.
So do you think that this horse is better because of the experience and the time you've put on him?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's more me learning how to ride him and then telling him he can't get away with things he was getting away with earlier.
So maybe Dad and Mom bought a pretty nice horse and then he kind of figured out the level of the rider for a little while,
Yeah.
but now the rider's figured out the level of the horse. And did you just wake up that way one morning?
No.
No? How did that happen?
Riding a lot and learning from you, going to the clinic was very instructional. I learned a lot then.
Oh, well, thank you. But really, the biggest majority of what's changed is the time and effort you've put in, isn't it? You've done a really nice job, and all of a sudden he's a really nice horse. And it's the dedication. It's just like anything in life. If you want something good, you've got to put a lot of work into it. All right, thank you. If you get over there, if you'd send Haley back,
Alrighty.
that'd be great. So again, the progression and the reoccurring theme. Here you've got a 10-year-old horse that really is a pretty nice horse. But just because you bought a really nice horse doesn't mean that that's going to be a perfect matchup. You can't go out and find the perfect horse because every kid's going to have to do a little bit of work to convince that horse. Now, Silver takes a lot less convincing to be safe than maybe Butch does, Kennedy's horse. But Butch is a lot more horse in the long run. And so again, you take a matchup where you say, what is this horse today? He's a really safe 10-year-old, really nice horse. And what do I have? I have a 10-year-old girl who wants to ride, is pretty good at it, does a nice job, and you move forward. Haley's our oldest rider. Haley, I need you to come on over here a little closer. So Haley, you're 16?
17.
17, okay. And how old is this horse?
10.
And how long have you had him?
I think it's been 4 years.
4 years. And when you got this horse, he had a few kind of not such great habits.
I think most of it was that I didn't know what buttons I was pushing.
Okay, but there was a couple of things this horse did that you've told me about. Not every ride on this horse ended successfully.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. So he did buck you off at least once.
Just once.
He bucked you off once, and he broke a few halters.
I don't know if he ever broke one, but he did pull back.
But he did pull back. Do you like the horse?
I love this horse.
All right, what do you love about him?
I like being able to look in the direction I want to go, and I don't have to do a lot to get him there, but we've gotten to the point where we can kind of read each other's mind.
Now, the bucking off episode, was he real bad before that, or was that just a one-time deal?
It was just one time. I wasn't paying enough attention, and he was really grumpy when I saddled him, but I was in a hurry to wrangle the horses down, so I went anyway, and went a little too fast.
What did you learn from that?
To take a little more time and pay attention to your horse.
You know, I would never tell you to get a horse that was going to buck your 13-year-old off. On the other hand, she got a horse that was really an athlete, really capable, really sensitive. Any horse can have a bad day. Any horse can have something go wrong. That kind of happened, more or less.
More or less.
And since then, he's gotten a lot better. So do you feel like you have added to the training on this horse drastically?
It depends what you call training. He's better for me because he fits me better now. But some people would get on him and they would have liked him a lot better before I got him.
But you like him a lot better now.
Yes.
And that's what's really important.
If I'm the one riding him, yes.
That's exactly right. That's the answer that I was just about to look back at the camera and say. We ride horses. 98% of American horse owners ride to smile. Haley hasn't quit smiling since she rode up here. That means this is a good matchup. Would this horse work for Trent?
Probably not.
Would he have worked for Trent or Hayden even when you first got him?
I don't think so.
No. So would he have been the perfect horse for Trent, Kurt, or Hayden? Of course not. Would he work for Holly? Probably. Because Holly and you are similar in a lot of ways, being sisters. You'll probably be pretty close. The idea is, let's find the horse that actually matches our kid. How do we find it? We go out and we drive the wheels off the car, and then we test it and we try it. We never make concessions. We never come back and say, wow, he's a really pretty dun-colored horse, and I've always wanted my kid to have a really pretty dun-colored horse, and so that's what we're gonna do. All 6 kids without coaching, you notice not one of them mentioned the color. Not one of them said the most important thing to me is color. Not one of them said the most important thing is registration papers. Not one of them said the most important thing is winning. Not one of them said the most important thing is how fast he is. They all had something to say without being coached about safety and keeping it all together. Remember, God designed these horses to be enjoyed with you and your family, and that's the best way to enjoy them. Until next week, may God bless the trails you ride.
For more information about Ken McNabb Clinics, appearances, and products, visit kenmcnabb.com.
One true horse, the perfect partner built to ride. One true horse, a bond that cannot be denied. You would search forever just to have the chance to take a ride on one true horse. Gonna take a ride on one true horse.